Having been informed that there is a quorum present, I will call the Subcommittee on Technology Planning to order. We will take up the following items for approval. Action item 1A is the approval of the minutes of June 5th, 2023. I move the approval of action item 1A. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Abstention right here, since I wasn't present.
Noted. The minutes are, the resolution's adopted. With no policy items on the agenda, I will address the information items. There's one information item on the agenda. Information item 2A is the Learning Management Systems Transition Status Update. Interim University Executive Director, CUNY Online, Evan Silberman, will present on this item. Where is Evan?
Should be down here.
Esteemed colleagues, thank you for the opportunity to present an update about the CUNY Blackboard to Brightspace Learning Management transition. I will refer to the Learning Management System here within as LMS. I'm Evan Silberman, University Executive Director in CUNY Office of Academic Affairs. I'm the LMS Transition Lead. The LMS is a foundational platform for CUNY because it enables us to deliver on our mission of access for any student. Using Brightspace, we can easily manage the delivery of online courses, ensure access to Brightspace for learners of different abilities, and leverage and integrate academic teaching and learning technology securely and in compliance with relevant laws and regulations. The expiration of our contract with Blackboard drove the choice to evaluate and select a new LMS. The determination to select Brightspace was based on a thoughtful RFP which reflected a comprehensive scope of work developed during a needs assessment led by a university-wide committee representing key constituencies within CUNY. There is no doubt that Brightspace is the right choice for CUNY. Brightspace is an industry-leading learning management system. D2L, the parent company of Brightspace, brings a forward-thinking approach to Brightspace as a modern tool that delivers on students' expectations of today's digital learning environments. The LMS allows us to grow online learning and create meaningful learning experiences across any modality. Brightspace also connects students with students, students with faculty, and students with their college. Brightspace brings tremendous value to CUNY. The advantage of contracting D2L for Brightspace, the advantages of contracting D2L for Brightspace are many. As a modern LMS with a large share of the higher education market, one of the largest in fact, we will join our peers using Brightspace. This gives us an extended support system for the implementation. Speaking of support, as early as this fall, we can offer 24/7, 365 end-user support for anyone at CUNY using Brightspace through services procured with D2L. This support enhances existing college and central resources immediately. Through the early phase of this implementation, we learned how easy it is to use Brightspace and how flexible the configuration is that allows us to respond to various needs efficiently. Lastly, Brightspace enhances engagement through tools like the video note so that faculty can create videos on the fly directly in the LMS. The transition from Blackboard to Brightspace is 2 years, 4 sequential transition groups. There are 4 sequential transition groups. I'm just a little bit nervous, y'all. If we view this graphic as a wayfinding map, we're working with the first transition group now. That's comprised of 6 colleges to help them prepare their Brightspace environments in order to deliver courses in Brightspace in the summer of '24. This group is in the middle of a 4-part implementation training program to prepare them to become system administrators in their instance of Brightspace. I highlight this because it is a crucial milestone in a project success, considering we only signed the contract with D2L a few months ago. Our work to reach this stage began in June with contract execution, when we were approved to engage with D2L. Along the way, we've hit some key milestones, which I've listed on this slide. We've configured the central system of Brightspace. We've developed and launched a training program. We've designed an implementation process to carry us through the 4 sequential transition groups. And we've started course migration prep work. Our governance model, which we've also designed, incorporates a wide diversity of university stakeholders, such as faculty, students, staff, and college and central teams that span vertical hierarchies, making it a very inclusive process. And I will speak to the governance model in a moment. Further, we're moving along the project timeline as expected. The project is in good health, and we expect to remain on track for the duration. I introduced the diversity of the governance model earlier. This comprehensive framework ensures that we have the necessary representation in the areas of the project that matter most. At the center of our virtual project management office. The CUNY Office of Academic Affairs leads the project. A virtual PMO combines project leadership and staff from OAA and partner organizations like CIS to run the day-to-day of the initiative. 3 core groups are the steering committee, core strategy group, and advisory team. The work of the advisory team is tactical, the work of the core strategy group is strategic, and the work of the steering committee is enabling change. One key feature is the relational design of this model. Campus teams, to the right of the model, are designed to engage specific functions or roles at the colleges with our virtual PMO so that the right people work on the right activities during the implementation. Our Director of Change Management engages with campus teams in a relationship management function to ensure alignment and identify unmet needs. There are 5 critical work streams in this model. Each has a set of co-leads tasked with managing work stream activities. For example, our Chief Academic Technology Officer and Senior Director of Academic Collaboration Technology lead course and content management, which is responsible for course migration. Training is a core component of this initiative. There are 3 primary training opportunities: certificate training, private training, and on-demand self-guided training. This general framework is designed first to build the expertise of those who will centrally manage, configure, and administer Brightspace. Next, college learning management system administrators and others who will lead training will participate in live webinar-style workshops. When we engage broader audiences, we'll offer specialized webinars on topics like why Brightspace and accessibility. Faculty will also be offered live webinar-style training, while student training will primarily be on demand based on available resources that we produce and have been provided to us. The entire university already has access to D2L Brightspace self-guided training, website with various learning paths and resources. Our training will be ongoing so that anyone at any time can participate regardless of transition group. This overview highlights the effort for this significant transition to CUNY and provides insight into key components of this initiative. I now welcome your questions.
Thank you, Evan. Are there any questions?
Yes, hi. Hugo Fernandez, I'm representing the University Faculty Senate as the alternate. There was tests that were supposed to be done as far as migrating existing Blackboard courses to Brightspace. And I don't know if there were any outcomes about that. I see that EVC Hensel is shaking her head. So what were the outcomes, I guess?
You're correct that a key component of this migration is this transition is course migration. To clarify for the audience, course migration is moving content from Blackboard courses to Brightspace courses. Does not include records. We are currently developing the migration process and doing a proof of concept with 60+ courses from the colleges, about 6 colleges at CUNY, that will be completed in early October. Once that proof of concept is completed, we'll have a clear understanding of what migrates and what the known issues are with migrations, and those that we need to remediate or those that we need to make transparent. So when you speak of outcomes, the outcome is understanding the efficacy of the migration process.
Right.
And we will be developing a document for colleges in which we will articulate what to expect from course migration, including known issues and other items that are related.
Great. I also understand that customization of the interface by faculty currently seems to be inhibited by configuration choices. I don't know if you could speak to that at all.
I'm not sure specifically what you're referring to, but we have, as I've indicated, Brightspace is a highly configurable environment, and one of our principles of this transition is that we do work that benefits the students, and we want the students to have the best possible experience using Brightspace. In that regard, we've made decisions to make certain aspects of Brightspace not editable. So as students move from college landing page to a course landing page to a CUNY level landing page, they have the same experience across those environments, specifically in regards to the navigation menus. And it also is most supportive for accessibility as well, ensuring consistent environment.
Yeah, again, it's interesting because when I first started teaching Blackboard, I didn't know anything about customization. It's called teaching style in Blackboard. And what you're basically, it's like, what does a student see when they first show up? Now, I regularly change the image just to, it kind of, a lot of times is telegraphing what we're going to be covering in that particular class. And things, and that may be what they're referring to. The last piece is the
Can I
plans.
jump in real
Excuse me?
Can I just jump in really
Sure.
quickly for the benefit of the rest of the folks here? One of the things that I heard loud and clear from students as we went from campus to campus is they're frustrated by having a completely different interface for every different course because they have to learn how to access different courses. And as you know, many faculty don't even have them within Brightspace or within Blackboard. They have a third-party provider like Twen. So students report to me that they, in the limited amount of time that they have, you're very used to it, but for them, they have to learn 5, 6, 7 different systems in order to access their education. So there are very clear reasons why we are limiting some of the interface based on best practices for student learning environments. So I just wanted to throw
Yeah,
that
and I wouldn't deny that. I mean, because I do know that students sometimes struggle finding the content as much. In every semester, I try even harder and harder to be organized. And every semester, there's always somebody like, where's this, where's that? The last
Can you
piece is,
follow up?
excuse me?
So, sorry, I want to, before you move on to your next question, there are several complaints by faculty about the process for how these decisions are made and where there's room for faculty input, because this particular choice of fixed navigation for whatever reason, seems to have a lot of people upset and from the faculty ranks. And it's something they were used to, it's been taken away, and used to with Blackboard, it's been taken away, and they don't see the compelling argument that you see that everything should be the same, because essentially what's going on is the faculty would like to narrow what the students have to look through. Like when I get on Blackboard currently, there's 50 different things on the left side that I know 3 I'm looking for, and I'd love to get rid of those. I had no idea I could. The students might feel the same way. They're overwhelmed with options when the faculty's trying to narrow those for them so that they're not spending time going down through navigation bars, rather they're going exactly where they want them. So I believe there are 2 sides to this. I think that the process for deciding what configurations should be set system-wide would benefit from having faculty input, so we don't have to have these ongoing conversations.
The last point I wanted to touch on was plans to mandate that the LMS usage for online courses, which many see as impinging on academic freedom. You know, just mandating that Brightspace has to be a content manager for a course. So, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'll speak to that. That really has a great deal to do with compliance with a variety of federal regulations, including FERPA, which is about the privacy of student data. Only the university-supported LMS can provide compliance with FERPA and with some of those other security issues. So this is really about online courses. It also, because the university-supported LMS, and right now that's Blackboard and Brightspace, those are the only systems that are integrated with CUNY First that allow for that transfer of data. It allows us to do all sorts of tracking for financial aid verification, for just a number of things that we need to provide reporting for both internal and external entities. And so that's really the rationale behind that. It's about the data security, and it's about the student experience.
And so it's not considered a third party, you know, as far as FERPA is concerned. I mean, that's really the issue with FERPA, right? So for example, if I put everything on Google Classroom, Google is a third party provider, and somebody could access that information through the third party. You're saying it's not possible through Brightspace.
I'm not sure that I'm, yeah.
Following. FERPA, the whole thing about FERPA, as far as data and student data, is that you can't put that data on a third-party provider that someone could access.
Right, so
Right.
we're able to set controls on who can access Brightspace and how they can access it, what content they have, they are able to see within Brightspace. So that's how it provides that protection, where we can't set some of those controls with Google or other sites.
Got it.
And let me be clear, we have not issued a policy on that. We started the conversation on that and decided to have more conversations on that. So that is it's ongoing at this moment.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And to respond to the previous comment about decision making, these decisions, we have a governance model that informs decision making.
And faculty are on the governance
That's
structure.
correct.
Yeah.
And all the faculty were chosen through faculty governance processes, correct?
So I'll speak to how people were chosen for the advisory council, our team, as we looked at various CUNY-wide and campus-specific groups, such as CETL, CAT, LMS administrators, faculty senate, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then we sought to achieve a balance of representation across those groups and across those campuses. We then identified people in those groups. We reached out to the campus presidents and said, we've identified this person as a good candidate to sit on this committee because of the role they play on your campus. do you support their selection? And in most cases, the president said yes. In some cases, they said, no, that person's stepping out of that role. We'd rather really have this person, and so we respected that, whatever the president's decision was, and then we reached out and invited those people to serve.
I just wanted to add, I said, we addressed this at the Faculty Senate, as you
Right.
know, and what I said is, always happy to have additional conversations as long as we all recognize that the students' needs will come first, as will cybersecurity. Those two things are critically important, and they do come into play with all of these decisions. And so, happy to have some additional conversations. John, I think you sit on that committee, am I wrong about that?
On the strategy.
On the
You're
I'm on the
committee.
steering committee,
Yeah.
but we didn't discuss this. I don't know where this particular policy decision was discussed,
Okay.
but I do know that it has several UFS senators.
Happy
upset.
to get together
And I don't know if
have-
they had a
go into
chance
depth on
to
this
say
one.
that before the decision was made, that's all.
I don't,
This decision was informed by the core strategy group.
we can have a conversation, John, happy to do it.
Thanks.
Thank you. Excuse me, anything else from anybody? Hearing none, we will move along. I now move that we go into executive session in accordance with section 105C of the New York State Open Meeting Law. Do I have a second? Second. All in favor? Any opposed? It has been adopted. We will now go into executive session.